In the intricate realm of personal finance, we often find ourselves confronted with decisions that are like traversing a labyrinth. Should we put money away or spend it? Should you invest or pay off your debts? Do you want to prepare for unexpected events or just enjoy life right now? To feel overwhelmed is a common experience. Nevertheless, billionaires such as Peter Lynch, who was one of the most successful investors of the 20th century, shone as a light of knowledge in the middle of this turbulent financial environment. Lynch's track record, which includes managing the Magellan Fund to an astounding yearly return of 29% during his tenure, is evidence of his mastery of tactics that are used to develop wealth. Today, we will discuss 8 fundamental ideas that are derived from Lynch's philosophy in order to assist you in developing a strategy for achieving financial success. Lynch's history, especially with the Magellan Fund, where he achieved an impressive annual return of 29% while he was in charge, really shows how skilled he is at building wealth. Today, let's dive into 8 important principles drawn from Lynch's ideas that can guide you in crafting a path toward financial success. First up, let's talk about building a rainy day fund. Setting up a rainy day fund is definitely the top financial priority right now. You never really know what life is going to throw at you, right? One minute everything seems fine, and the next, you could be dealing with a job loss, unexpected medical bills, or urgent repairs that pop up out of nowhere. If you don't have a financial safety net, you might end up depending on high-interest loans or credit cards, and that can just make things worse. First, try to save enough to cover your living expenses for a month. After you get this sorted out, start to slowly build up the fund to cover about 3 to 6 months. It's a good idea to stash this money in a high-yield savings account. That way it's easy to get to when you need it, but keeping it separate from your main checking account can help you resist the urge to spend it. This fund is really meant for emergencies, so it's best to steer clear of using it for things that aren't essential. A rainy day fund isn't just about having some extra cash, it really gives you that sense of peace and security. Having a financial cushion really helps ease the stress and lets you concentrate on your long-term goals without worrying that life's surprises will throw you off track. Creating this fund might mean making some short-term sacrifices, like trimming down on extra spending or putting off big purchases. However, the stability and peace of mind it brings are totally worth it. Having a rainy day fund really helps you handle those unexpected financial bumps with ease and strength. Begin with small steps and keep at it. Your future self will really appreciate it. Principle 2. Get rid of high-interest debt. High-interest debt, like credit card balances, really stands in the way of achieving financial freedom. It really eats away at your resources and keeps you trapped in a loop of paying interest rather than actually growing your wealth. After you've set up your emergency fund, tackling this kind of debt should definitely be your next focus. Start by jotting down all your debts, making sure to include the balances, interest rates, and minimum payments for each one. It's a good idea to tackle those high-interest debts first, since they end up costing you the most in the long run. Try the avalanche method, where you focus on paying off the debts with the highest interest rates first, or go for the snowball method, which has you tackle the smallest debts first to gain some momentum. Both methods work well, just pick the one that inspires you the most. Cutting down on debt might mean making some sacrifices, like adjusting your spending on non-essentials, or putting bonuses and tax refunds towards paying it off faster. Think about debt consolidation if it could help you reduce your overall interest rates and make your payments easier to manage. Getting some advice from a financial advisor or counselor can really help you find strategies that fit your needs. Getting rid of high-interest debt can really help your cash flow and ease that financial stress you might be feeling. You can take that extra money and put it into savings or investments, which can really help you work towards financial independence. Why not take a step today to lighten the load of debt? Principle 3. Make savings a priority. After you've taken care of your immediate financial risks, make saving a top priority as a key habit. A lot of folks tend to save whatever's left over after they cover their expenses, but this method usually leads to barely any savings, if any at all. Why not save first and then spend what's left over? This change helps you create a solid base for lasting financial security. Try to set aside a certain percentage of your income. 20% is great, but even kicking things off with 10% can make a difference. Why not make saving easier? Just set up automatic transfers to a dedicated account right when you get paid. It helps keep things consistent. Think of savings as something you just have to do, like paying rent or your utility bills. Savings really do a lot for us. They act as a safety net when unexpected expenses pop up, help us invest in our future, and support our life goals, like buying a home, traveling, or enjoying a comfortable retirement. As time goes by, you'll see how the magic of compounding can turn those little regular contributions into some serious wealth. Saving money isn't just about cutting back on what you enjoy right now. It's really about making sure you're set up for a great future. If you save regularly, you'll find it easier to manage financial worries, open up new possibilities, and feel more at ease overall. Why not start today? Building the habit of saving can really help you move toward financial independence. Principle 4, make a budget that fits. A budget can really help you get your finances in order and work towards your goals. If you don't really know where your money is going, it's super easy to spend too much and get into a bit of financial trouble. A budget helps you keep your spending in line with what really matters to you and what you value. First off, keep an eye on your income and expenses for a month. Break down your spending into 3 main categories. Needs, which cover essentials like housing and utilities. Wants, like entertainment and dining out. And then savings or debt repayment. The 50-30-20 rule is a well-known guideline. Set aside 50% of your income for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or paying off debt. Feel free to tweak these percentages to fit your specific situation. Budgeting isn't about missing out. It's all about making choices that really help you reach your goals. You know, cutting back on things like takeout or those subscription services can really help you save or invest more money. A good budget takes into consideration those unexpected expenses like yearly insurance payments or holiday spending, so you're always prepared. Make sure to check in on your budget from time to time and tweak it whenever your income, goals, or priorities shift. If you create a budget and stick to it, you'll really take charge of your finances, feel less stressed, and set yourself up for financial success in the long run. Principle 5, keep your finances liquid. Having liquidity is super important for keeping your finances flexible and secure. Investments are definitely key to growing your wealth, but having cash on hand is super important too. It lets you tackle emergencies or seize opportunities without any hiccups. Liquidity acts like a link that connects stability with growth. Try to have about 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up in an easily accessible account, like a high-yield savings account. This fund is different from your rainy day fund. It's all about covering those immediate needs, like surprise bills or urgent purchases that pop up. Having liquidity means you won't have to sell your investments at a loss or depend on high-interest loans when times get tough financially. Having liquidity is super important for jumping on opportunities, like snagging discounted investments or diving into entrepreneurial ventures. But, you know, finding that balance is really important. Having too much cash can actually hold you back from growing, so it's good to keep enough on hand to feel secure while putting the rest to work for those long-term gains. Keeping some cash on hand gives you a safety net, helping you handle life's surprises with ease. It's an important part of a solid financial plan, making sure you're ready for whatever comes your way. Principle 6, begin investing smartly. Investing really is the way to go if you want to build wealth and reach that financial independence you've been dreaming about. After you've taken care of your immediate needs, it's time to think about how to make your money work for you. Investing is a great way to grow your savings. It takes those little contributions and, thanks to compounding, can turn them into something much bigger over time. Start off with some low-risk choices, such as index funds or ETFs. These investments are great for beginners because they offer a mix of options and consistent growth. Try to set aside at least 20% of your income for investments and consider automating those contributions to keep things steady. Doing research is super important. It's important to get a good grasp on the risks, possible returns, and the timeframes for your investments. Peter Lynch's advice to invest in what you know is super helpful. Focus on the areas where you feel knowledgeable and confident. It's a good idea to mix things up in your portfolio to keep risks and rewards in check. Try not to let your emotions drive your decisions when the market goes up and down. Investing really is about playing the long game. Just hang in there and keep your eyes on the prize, letting compounding do its thing. As your portfolio expands, you'll start to build passive income streams and financial security, setting the stage for a bright future ahead. So let's talk about Principle 7, planning your spending strategically. Strategic spending means making sure your money decisions line up with what you want to achieve in the long run. It makes sure that every dollar you spend goes towards what really matters to you instead of just temporary wants. After you've taken care of your savings, debt, and emergency needs, it's really important to work on improving your spending habits. First things first, figure out what your financial goals are. So, are you putting away some cash for a home, working on your retirement savings, or focusing on personal growth? Having a clear vision really helps you use your resources wisely. Try using the 50-30-20 rule as a helpful guide for your spending plan. Allocate 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for savings or paying off debt. Try to steer clear of lifestyle inflation, which happens when a bump in your income results in spending more than you really need to. So, instead of splurging on a new car after getting a raise, why not put that extra cash into savings or investments instead? Using budgeting apps or spreadsheets to track your expenses can show you where you might be able to cut back a bit, all while still keeping your happiness intact. Strategic spending means getting ready for those unexpected costs, like vacations or holiday gifts, so you don't end up feeling financially stressed. Make sure to check in on your spending plan now and then, especially if your goals or income change. If you think about how you spend your money, you can enjoy life now while also making sure you're set for the future. It's a great habit that helps you take charge of your finances and make sure every dollar counts. Principle 8. Don't hesitate to delegate when you need to. Handing off tasks that aren't really your thing is something many people miss when it comes to managing finances well. Time really is your most valuable resource, right? By honing in on what you do best and letting others handle the specialized tasks, you can really boost your efficiency and get better results. When it comes to personal finance, delegating can mean bringing in experts for things like tax prep, managing investments, or planning your estate. You know, a good accountant can really help you find deductions or credits that you might overlook, which could end up saving you more than what you pay them. A financial advisor can work with you to create an investment strategy that fits your risk tolerance and goals perfectly. First, take a look at the spots where you might not have all the know-how or where certain tasks seem to take up way too much of your time. Figure out which tasks you can hand off to skilled professionals. Sure, there's a cost to consider, but when you think about it, the benefits like getting things done right, saving time, and cutting down on stress usually make it worth it. Delegating is more about boosting efficiency than giving up control. When you outsource those time-consuming or tricky tasks, you can really focus on the things that matter more, like boosting your career, expanding your business, or getting better at managing your finances. When you delegate smartly, it helps keep your financial matters in check, making it easier for you to reach your goals without all the stress. It's a way to invest in your future, allowing you to concentrate on what really counts.